So we need to cover the Python basic idea of functions and how that works. So, so you can think of functions as a container tag almost. So you have your normal set of instructions, but say you want to repeat that over and over again. Well, or you just want to tidy up your code. Well, then you call a function. And I'll go into some use cases, but a function is just a very simple way of reusing code from a different section if you need to use it more than once, and it can help with organizing and neatening up code, as maintaining an organized programming environment is a plus always. So as an example, we can build um, a label or a text combiner. So that should be pretty simple. We should just need two inputs, two string inputs, and then we simply add those together and print the result. So with that, we can get started on getting those inputs. So we can say um, input, um, give me give me half of a sentence, and give input, give me another half. And we have those two, so we have our two inputs. Awesome. Now we want to string them together. So we do have to set up some variables, so let's create a variables section and define um, line 1 and line 2. Nope, nope. There we go, and then we can just say line 1 equal to input. We should probably capitalize that. Line 2 equals this input, and then we just print str line 1 plus the space and str line 2. Very simple, very basic. Hi, my name is Ty. There we go. Beautiful, simple. It adds it together. Now say that this is not the only thing that I want to use this for. So then I want to, for example, use line, I want to set line 1 as input to, as an example, not add, but let's say I want to, I need to add it together again, but this time I don't want it to be, I want it to be two numbers. So then we'd remove str from here and remove that. Oh, don't remove those. Remove that. There we go. and in here we put str instead. And just to make things easy, you can highlight an entire text and hit first open bracket, and that would just wrap the highlighted text in brackets, so that can be easier in most cases. So yeah, we can have two like that and plus them together. um, like so, and then we can say give me one number, and we can put in, let's just capitalize that, and then for line 2 we can put in give me another number, this time without the misspelling. And then this, we'd use this again. This is not really a use case you'd really use it for, but as an example. So half a sentence, hey, it's half a sentence, hi, um, okay, cool, and then 6, 7. Sorry, you have to use these as integers. But it, so you can see here that I'm reusing the exact same line over 2 times. And say I wanted to do this over and over again. Instead of writing a variable every single time, I just want to use the same two variables. Now, instead of repeating this over and over again, one of the major things in programming is that you should try not to repeat yourself as much as possible. So we can say this is sentences and this is numbers, just to kind of section them off. So we try not to repeat ourselves, and for that we use functions. So above variables here, you're going to want to start your functions list with functions list. Awesome. So how do we call a function? We can use the def and then name our function. This can be print print lines. Awesome. And then we need to add parentheses and a semicolon. So what this does is, this is the name, this is any parameters that you will need, which you won't need for any use case right now. And you can find plenty of information with a quick Google search on how to use the parentheses for functions, and you just need a semicolon right there. Once you hit enter, you'll notice an indentation, and everything inside of this function is is noted by a indentation. If it doesn't have an indentation, it's not in this. So let's start by literally just printing line 1 and line 2. Nice and simple, nice and easy. So then we just call of that and call of that. And now, instead of those, we just use print lines. And remember to call those brackets print lines. And now you should see that we get roughly the same output. Okay. Yeah. Right. So I set these as strings and not ints. That makes more sense why it was doing that. But you can see now we have implemented and used a function. Of course, it's not the greatest example of how you'd be using a function, but it is a system to try and repeat as little code as possible. Here we go. So, and that just makes it nice and pretty. You can see here, oh, instead of this, which can sometimes be hard to follow, you just got that. Nice and easy. And there's a couple other things that you can do with functions. just remember that any variables in here should either be global variables or you should return it. And that I can go into later when we do end up using it.